Resentment is a receipt. It proves you've been overfunctioning. Say it out loud with me. Resentment is a receipt. Resentment is a receipt. It proves you've been overfunctioning. Let that land, because you keep treating resentment like it's a personality flaw, like you're mean or dramatic or too much. And I'm here to tell you it's none of that. It is proof of purchase for emotional labor you've been secretly running on your own credit card. Overfunctioning is simple to define and brutal to live. It's you anticipating needs before anyone asks. It's you tracking how everybody feels, noticing the weather of the room, strategizing around it so no one melts down. It's remembering everything: birthdays, dentist appointments, the dog's meds, who likes what on their tacos, which teacher needs the email, and it's smoothing every point of tension so dinner doesn't explode and the trip doesn't derail. It's running the calendar, the group chat, the thank you notes, the apology after the argument you didn't even start. It's making life work for capable adults who could participate. They could, they just don't, because you already are. And you are exhausted. Of course you are. You are not crazy, and you are not too sensitive. You're carrying a layer of work no one counts because it's invisible when you do it well. And then when you finally drop the rope, when you snap or you go silent for 3 days because you're done, you get blamed for being cold or difficult. The irony would be funny if it didn't feel like a brick on your chest. Let me say the hard thing with love. You can love someone and still be drowning in the management of them. Those are not the same thing. Love is a feeling. Labor is all the monitoring, arranging, reminding, rescuing, pre-smoothing. When you confuse love with labor, you start believing your worth is measured by how much you carry. And that is how you lose desire, how you lose respect, how you turn into the household project manager instead of a partner, the HR department instead of a friend. The check engine light for that slide? Resignment. So hear me. Resentment isn't petty, and it isn't proof you're bad. It is data. It's the receipt for unpaid work. Every time your jaw tightens, every heavy sigh, every eye roll in the pantry, that's the printer spitting out another line item for the load you've taken on to keep the peace. Your body is telling you, I'm doing more than my share of the emotional work. And here's the promise. You can stop carrying the entire relationship or the entire family without blowing it up. You can, but not by pleading harder, lecturing longer, or contorting yourself into one more reminder system. The fastest way to stop the overload is to stop trying to control how other adults behave and react. Full stop. You take your hands off their steering wheel and you put both hands back on your own. We will get there. We are going to make this incredibly practical, inch by inch by inch. For now, I want you to stop the damn car and tell the truth. Where is the receipt piling up? Name it. You don't have to believe you deserve relief, yet you can just want it. That want is enough to start. Here's the thing nobody sees because you do it so well. You are running the operating system in the background while everyone else enjoys the app. Emotional labor is not the dishes. It's the noticing that the dishes are there, the remembering whose turn it was, the calculating whether asking right now will set off an argument, and the swallowing of your own irritation because the kids are doing homework and you don't want to spike the room. It's the management layer: planning, initiating, reminding, noticing, anticipating, comforting, translating, managing tone, managing conflict, managing holidays, managing the kids' feelings, managing your partner's stress, layer on layer on layer. Picture your mind like a browser with 27 tabs: open school portal, team schedule, mother-in-law gift ideas, meal planning, birthday list, dog groomer, budget spreadsheet, dentist forms. And you are the only person who knows which tab has auto refresh turned off. So you keep clicking, checking, pinging yourself. Did I? Should I? When is? That jittery scanning energy, that's vigilance. That's the cost. Why is it so hard to explain? Because it's not one task you can point to. It's a constant state. It's air traffic control. You're watching the weather, the runway, the fuel, the pilot's mood, the passenger's snacks, all at once. And if you do it perfectly, nobody notices. The planes land and people say, what's the big deal? The big deal is your nervous system has been on its feet all day with a headset on. Mini scene. You say, offhand, we should do something for mom's birthday. Boom. It's yours now. You wrangle the group text. You price the restaurant. You remember her gluten sensitivity. You order the cake. You Venmo chase your brother, who always forgets. You cushion your sister's tone so mom doesn't cry. And then you're smiling at dinner while calculating the tip and the ride home. Another one. Just tell me what to do. Sounds helpful. It's not. It makes you the manager. Now you assign, you monitor, you follow up, you praise to keep morale up, you absorb the blame when it's late because you were in charge. Adults don't need a foreman for their own life. But the second you become one, you own the results. Or this, you are the family calendar and the therapist. You know whose cleats are too small, which teacher does not accept late work, which kid melts down after swim practice, what time your partner's big presentation is, and that they'll need quiet when they get home. So you reroute dinner, you soften your voice, you buffer the kids, you scan for cues. The holidays, you are the cruise director, flights, gifts, budgets, food restrictions, emotional landmines from 1,998. You pad the schedule so Uncle Bob and Aunt Sarah don't overlap. You pre-write the apology text in your head just in case. This is why you explode about a sink of plates. You're not mad about ceramic. You're mad that you had to be the one to see it, to bring it up, to risk being the nag, to absorb the sigh, to manage their defensiveness and your own restraint, all so water could touch a fork. That's the tab that fries your motherboard. So let's get honest. Take inventory. What are the tabs? Where are you planning for adults? Where are you reminding, initiating, buffering moods, holding dates and details and everybody's feelings so no one else has to? Name 3 places right now where your brain is the server and everybody else is streaming happily without paying for bandwidth. Because once we can see it, we can stop pretending this is about chores. It's about the constant management you do that nobody counts. And soon, very soon, we are going to change who owns those tabs. Here's the truth you don't want to hear and you absolutely need to hear. A lot of what you're calling, I'm just being helpful, is control wearing a halo. I know, it stings. It stung me because it looks like love anticipating, fixing, smoothing. But if we're honest, underneath it is, I can't tolerate mess, disappointment, or their discomfort, so I'll manage it. You don't jump in because you love folding towels. You jump in because your body cannot stand the spike of anxiety that hits when something's undone, someone's upset, or there's the tiniest whiff of conflict. You hate overfunctioning, and you keep doing it because it calms you down, not because it grows the relationship. Let me show you the machinery so you stop blaming your personality. This is biology: sensation, perception, emotion, thought, action. That's the chain. Your body senses something: a sigh, a plate in the sink, a late email from a teacher, your partner on the couch while bags of groceries sit on the floor, micro jolt in your chest. Your nervous system perceives danger, disapproval, rejection, explosion, incoming. Emotion rises, anxiety, dread, irritation. Then thoughts sprint in. If I don't handle this, it'll be a fight. If I say something, I'm the bad guy. If I push back, they'll shut down or leave. It'll all fall apart. And then you act. You fix. You pick up the slack. You say yes. You swallow the comment. You over-explain to buy safety. And for a second boom relief, your body quiets. That hit of relief becomes the habit loop. You are not regulating the relationship. You are regulating your nervous system by controlling other adults. What's the fear under the hood? Fear of conflict, fear of being the bad guy, fear of being judged as selfish, difficult, cold, fear that if you stop running point, everything collapses and it will be your fault, fear of being abandoned, because somewhere deep in that wiring is the old belief, if I don't keep everyone okay, I'm not safe and I'm not loved. That's not melodramatic. That's a pattern. And where did you learn it? From the places that taught you to scan and preempt. Maybe you grew up in a house where you read the room to survive: alcohol, volatility, silent treatment, perfectionism. Maybe you were the responsible one, the oldest, the fixer, the translator, the peacemaker. Maybe anxiety has been your shadow since you were 12. Maybe culture or church hammered selfless so hard you confuse disappearing with love. This is wiring. This is adaptation. It is not a moral failure. You did what worked. It just doesn't work anymore. Here's the cost you've been pretending isn't there. Controlling them does not protect the relationship. It poisons it in slow motion. It breeds resentment in you, learned helplessness in them, and contempt between you. You become the project manager, not the partner. Desire dies when you parent an adult. Trust erodes when you say it's fine. While keeping score, they feel micromanaged and step back. You feel abandoned and step in. The intimacy you want requires two adults, not one adult and one employee. So let's call it what it is. Overfunctioning is a nervous system strategy. You do it to feel safe, and it works for about 5 minutes. Then the bill shows up as anger, exhaustion, distance. The way out is not another lecture or a prettier spreadsheet. It's learning to stop controlling their behavior and start controlling your participation. We are going to break that chain at the action level and teach your body a new kind of safety, inch by inch by inch. Here's the boundary that changes everything. And I know it sounds almost insultingly simple, but stay with me, because this is the interruption pattern that rewires the whole dynamic. Let them be late. Let them forget. Let them be annoyed. Let them do it wrong. Let them feel disappointed. Let them experience the actual consequences of their actual choices. When your body spikes and you feel the grab to jump in and manage, you say it out loud softly. To yourself, let them, and you take your hands off their steering wheel. And because somebody's amygdala just screamed, let me be crystal clear. Let them is not permission for abuse, disrespect, or cruelty. We'll talk about the hard lines in a minute. This is not about tolerating name-calling, threats, stonewalling, or a pattern of emotional withholding. This is about releasing your compulsion to regulate capable adults' preferences, mistakes, moods, and timelines. It's the antidote to micromanaging. It's the pause that returns you to yourself, which brings us to the other half that most people miss. Let me decide what I will do and what I won't do. Let me decide what I will tolerate and what I will leave. Let me protect my energy, my calendar, my peace. Let me choose the behavior that aligns with my values, not my panic. Their reactions are not my responsibility. My boundaries are. That's the responsibility shift. That is where resentment goes to die, because resentment lives in the gap between what you do and what you actually want to be doing. Micro scene, so you can feel the difference. Your partner forgets to pick up the thing, school forms, the birthday cake, the dry cleaning you need for tomorrow. Old you gets the chest jolt, tells a fast story. If I don't fix this, there'll be a fight. Then you leave work early, call 3 places, sprint across town, and swallow your fury so the night isn't ruined. Relief for 5 minutes. Resentment for 5 days. New you feel the spike, you whisper, let them, and you do not move. You send one clean message. Hey, the cake was yours. I'm not able to swing by. Let me know what you figure out. Then you go back to your meeting, your workout, your book. If dessert is late, it's late. If they have to grab cupcakes, they do. If someone's annoyed that someone can manage their own feelings, let them, and let me keep my commitment to myself. This is behavior first. Not a speech, not a defense memo, a simple switch. Let them be responsible for their life. Let me be responsible for mine. Every time you choose it, inch by inch, you teach your nervous system a new truth. I don't have to control you to be safe. I can control me and be at peace. Okay, stop the damn car and grab a pen. We are not doing this in your head because your head is a noisy airport. Put it on paper so we can land the planes. At the top, write emotional labor audit. Underneath, list the roles you actually play, not the cute title on your holiday card. Planner, scheduler, therapist, social secretary, house manager, conflict diffuser, family PR, initiator of intimacy, keeper of traditions. Add the other hats you know are yours: chauffeur, nurse, homework monitor, gift concierge, dog logistics, calendar cop, group chat admin, apology drafter in chief. Don't overthink it, dump it out. Now, next to each role, jot 2 to 3 recurring tasks you do in that role: planner, vacations, birthday parties, summer camps, scheduler, dentist, teacher meetings, car inspections, therapist, soothing after fights, translating tone, walking on eggshells to avoid a blow-up, social secretary, invites, RSVPs, hostess gifts, rides, house manager, groceries, laundry, the light bulbs nobody notices until it's dark, conflict diffuser. I'll talk to him, I'll smooth it over, I'll just do it so it doesn't become a thing. Family PR, thank you texts, apology emails, explaining away someone's mood. Initiator of intimacy, you always start the conversation, the kiss, the repair. Keeper of traditions, holiday magic, photo books, grandma's recipe, no one else knows how to make. Circle the items that make you clench your jaw or sigh the second you write them. That's your receipt list. Resentment inked right there. Then star the ones that happen daily or weekly. Frequency matters because a tiny drain every day is a flood by Friday. Now step back and look for the pattern. Where are you doing tasks other adults are capable of doing simply to avoid discomfort or guarantee an outcome? Be honest. Are you the default texter because you can't tolerate Aunt Linda's huff if no one responds in 5 minutes? Are you pre-rescuing your partner's commitments because you can't stand the feeling of late? Are you managing the kids' teachers because your partner forgets and you don't want to deal with the fallout? This is the control guilt machine we talked about. You're not crazy. You're avoiding a spike in your body. Name it. Now pick 3, not 12, 3 resentment hotspots to address first. Criteria: high resentment, high frequency, and another adult is fully capable. Maybe it's I manage all school emails. I initiate every hard conversation. I schedule every appointment. Circle those 3. Put a box around them. These are the levers that give you your life back fastest because small, repeatable wins rebuild self-trust. When you see yourself acting differently, your nervous system learns, oh, I can survive the discomfort and still be okay. That's the identity shift. You do, you witness, you believe. And I want you to hear this loud and clear so you don't derail yourself with a TED Talk at the dinner table. We are not doing a dramatic boundary speech. No manifestos, no PowerPoints. We are going to roll this out, behavior first, inch by inch by inch. A pause instead of a rescue, a 1-sentence ask instead of a prosecution, assigning ownership instead of begging for help. Let them experience their life. Let me control my participation. Your audit just told us exactly where to start. Put that paper somewhere you can see it. Those 3 boxes, that's your map out of resentment. Here's your first boundary, and it's not glamorous, it's not a grand gesture, and it will absolutely change your life if you do it. Stop pre-rescuing. We're instituting a 2-4-hour pause on your impulse to fix, remind, smooth, or shoulder something for a capable adult. If it's not urgent or unsafe, it can wait. Your move is a pause. That's it. You are going to sit in the itch long enough to see what they do when you don't do it. Here's the internal script. When the spike hits text buzzing, calendar dinging, that micro jolt that screams jump, you breathe, you say, let them, let me. Then you ask, is this truly necessary or is my anxiety driving the car? If it's truly necessary and time-bound in a way that impacts safety, handle it. 90% of the time it's not. It's your nervous system seeking relief. So you pause, set a literal 2-4-hour timer if you have to. Walk away from the keyboard, put the phone face down, count backward 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and move your body. What are you tolerating during this pause? Disappointment, annoyance, inconvenience, and temporary discomfort, yours and theirs. That is the tax you pay to exit resentment. You will feel twitchy. They might be irritated. Someone may be late. A ball might drop. Good. Data's coming in. You cannot see the truth about ownership if you keep intercepting the consequences. Examples so you can feel it. The appointment they said they'd schedule, do not remind, do not email the office, just in case. 24 hours. If they miss it, they reschedule it. The groceries arrived and it's the wrong brand, do not reorder behind their back. Use what's there, or let the person who bought it decide the replacement plan. Your partner walks in grumpy from work, do not start apologizing to the kids or the guests for their mood. Do not start running interference. Let their face tell their story and let them manage it. Someone asks your partner a question in a group and they hesitate, do not answer for them. Look at them, stay quiet, let the silence work. And what do you do with all that jumpy energy you just reclaimed? You redirect it to yourself, because that's how we break the sensation to action loop. Move your body, 10-minute walk, stretch, water a plant, do one task that's actually yours, finish that email, fold your clothes, pay your bill, call a friend who doesn't need managing, put on music and reset a room. You're teaching your body, I am safe when I don't control you. I can choose me and we're okay. Take one of the 3 hotspots you circled and run the 2 4-hour pause today. The school email you always forward to your partner, don't. The group chat you always heard, don't. The calendar nudge you always send, don't. Whisper it like a mantra when the urge claws at you. Let them, let me. You are not punishing anyone. You are collecting proof. Proof of what they will do when you don't. Proof that your life does not explode when you stop being the air traffic controller for grown adults, inch by inch by inch. You are retraining your nervous system and returning responsibility to its rightful owner. Your first boundary is a pause. Stop rescuing long enough to see what happens, and then we'll decide your next move from data, not from panic. Now that you've paused and gathered data, we upgrade your words, because the next move is not a monologue, it's a scalpel. One sentence, specific, neutral, no backstory, no case building, no you never, you always, no weather report about how tired you are, no exhibit A through Q from the last 3 years. A clean boundary is brief and specific. Over-explaining turns your needs into a courtroom, and the second you step into prosecution mode, you invite cross-examination, you hand over the gavel, and your nervous system starts performing instead of protecting you. Here's the rule I want you to tattoo on your tongue. One sentence, specific task, clear timing or ownership, neutral tone, period at the end, not a question mark. Not 5 emojis softening the blow, period. Script so you can feel it in your mouth. I need you to handle the kids' dinner on Tuesdays, period. Please take over your parents' birthday plans this year, period. I'm not available to manage the calendar. Put your commitments in your phone, period. Please handle the trash and recycling Sundays and Wednesdays, period. I'm not waking you in the morning, set your alarm, period. I need you to book the dentist by Friday and send me the time, period. Ask versus nag is simple. An ask is one clear sentence that assigns the responsibility and the timeline. A nag is anxiety in a trench coat, 3 reminders, a follow-up meme, a sigh, and a just checking in. You state the request once. You do not chase compliance to regulate your nerves. You let them, and then you let me. Let them feel the weight of the ask. Let me manage my urge to micromanage. When your body screams to send a second text, you breathe, you say let them, and you get up and pour a glass of water. You are not their alarm clock. You are not their project manager. You are an adult communicating an adult standard. Why does over-explaining backfire? Because explanations sound like negotiation. The more context you give, the more you invite debate. And now we're in court parsing intent. But last week I thought you said, and your clean boundary gets dismantled by 1,000 technicalities. You do not need a closing argument to state a standard. You need a sentence. Tone check matters. No edge, no sarcasm, no since you never. That's prosecution, and it flips the dynamic back to managing their feelings. We're not doing that. We're updating how the system works. Not asking for permission, communicating reality. Old you, a 7-paragraph text at 11:48 p.m. with heart emojis and a spreadsheet link. New you, Please pick up the dog from daycare on Fridays. Period. Then you set your phone down and go to bed. Run it through this translator. You never help with the kids. I'm drowning becomes I need you to handle baths and bedtime on Wednesdays. I feel like I'm the only one who cares about appointments becomes please book the dentist by Friday and send me the confirmation. I can't do this all by myself. Becomes I'm not available to host this. Weekend, if you want to host, you'll need to lead. Pick one hotspot from your audit and send one sentence today. Then stop. No chasing, no cushioning. If there's a reaction, let them have it and let me hold the line. We'll cover pushback later. For now, your job is one sentence, neutral tone, period. Every clean ask is a rep for self-respect. Every time you don't prosecute your own needs, you remind your body, I don't have to argue to be clear. That's how the system changes one sentence at a time. Here's the next upgrade, and it is going to blow the doors off your resentment because it removes your least favorite job title manager. Stop asking for help. Adults don't help in their own life. Ownership means it's theirs end-to-end planning, execution, follow-through, dealing with what happens when something's missed. Help signals it's your job and they're assisting you. No, you are not the project lead for grown people. Assign ownership, not fragments. Language is the lever. Can you help with trash? Becomes you own trash. Ownership is the whole job. Notice when it's full, tie the bag, replace the liner, take the cans to the curb on pickup night, bring them back in, handle overflow, order more bags when we're low. Manage the holiday schedule when pickup changes. Whole job. If you're thinking that's a lot, exactly. You've been doing all of that invisibly. We're just moving the responsibility to the correct adult. Same with kids' appointments. Not, can you call the dentist for me? Ownership. You own dental. Choose the provider, book complete forms, get them there, manage follow-ups, add 6-month reminders, and send me the date so I can plan. Bedtime, not can you help tonight? Ownership. You own bedtime, Wednesday through Friday, baths, pajamas, stories, lights out. Holidays, not can you pick up a pie? Ownership. You own Thanksgiving dessert menu, order, pickup, plates, serving. Ownership ends the manager role because you're no longer delegating tasks. You're transferring a lane. Now, set the minimum viable standard so you don't boomerang the job back over minor imperfections. Minimum viable means good enough, not your Pinterest fantasy. Define it once, out loud, briefly. Trash standard, the kitchen bin does not overflow. Curb cans out by 7 p.m. the night before. Liners replaced immediately. Dental standard, appointments booked a month out. Reminders in your phone. I have the date in my calendar. Bedtime standard, lights out by 8:30. Teeth brushed, room tidied to walkable. If the standard is met, you zip it. If it's not, you use one sentence. This doesn't meet the standard. Please handle by tonight. Period. You do not redo it behind their back because your way is 12% nicer. That's perfectionism pulling you back into management. Prepare for the messy middle because it's coming. They will do it differently, slower, imperfectly. You will itch to grab the wheel. Do not let them. Let natural consequences teach adults what your reminders used to shield them from. The cans weren't out, they deal with overflow. Bedtime slid, they handle a cranky morning. Dentist got delayed, they reschedule and absorb the inconvenience. Your line is not a lecture, it's a mirror. This is yours. Micro scene so you can feel the power. Family trip. Old you is the cruise director. Flights, lodging, rental car, activities, weather, snacks, check-in windows, everyone's moods. New you steps back. I'm not planning the summer trip. If you want a trip, someone else needs to lead. My parameters, budget X, dates Y. I'll confirm my availability by Friday. Then you let the vacuum exist. They stall. Prices go up. Rooms sell out. The airport line is long because nobody checked in. Let them experience it, not with an I told you so grin, with neutrality. Participate within your parameters or pivot to your plan B, a weekend with a friend, a staycation with peace. You're not punishing. You are refusing to be the unpaid tour operator. And guess what? The next time someone will volunteer earlier, ask better questions, or wait for it, own it front to back, Resentment grows when you're the manager. Ownership ends it because responsibility sits where it belongs. Adults carry full responsibility, not partial tasks. Your job is one sentence to assign the lane, one brief standard to define good enough. And then you let them, and you let me keep my peace. Of course, there's pushback. You change the dance, and the other dancers are tripping over their feet, right? Expect it, anticipate it. Because for years, your nervous system managed everyone else's, and theirs learned to lean on yours. So when you stop being the air traffic controller, alarms go off not because you're wrong, but because the system is updating. Your job is not to fix their alarm. Your job is to stay steady. Your boundary is not a debate. So when the reactions show up and they will you breathe, plant your feet, drop your shoulders, lower your voice, and use the broken record boundary, same sentence, same tone, no escalation. Their emotional reaction is not an emergency. You can tolerate their discomfort without abandoning yourself. Predictable reaction has-hone is anger or defensiveness. So now I'm the bad guy? Oh, so I'm lazy? Why are you making a big deal out of this? You will feel the urge to explain, to prove you're not accusing, to list all the times you quietly handled it. Don't. Instead, deliver the line like you're reading the weather. You're allowed to be mad. This is still what I'm doing. Then zip it. If they push again, you say it again. You're allowed to be mad. This is still what I'm doing. If volume rises, you add a calm exit. I'm not available for yelling. We can talk later. And you step away. No counterattack, no courtroom. Predictable reaction #2 is helplessness. Just tell me what to do. I don't know how. You do it better. This is the trapdoor back into management. Do not fall through it. Say, I'm not managing it anymore. You can figure it out. If you want to add one supportive sentence without taking the wheel, fine. I trust you to handle it. Then let the silence work. If they stand there blinking, let them. If they do it differently, let them. If they ask you 1,000 clarifying questions to pull you back in, you repeat. I'm not managing it anymore. You can figure it out. Predictable reaction #3 is the guilt trip. After all I do, wow, must be nice to check out. I guess I'm the only one who cares. This is designed to hook your shame. Unhook with empathy and a boundary. I hear you. I'm still not taking this on. If they continue, you repeat. I hear you. I'm still not taking this on. You can discuss division of labor at a scheduled time. You do not negotiate your boundary in the heat of a guilt spiral. The broken record is the tool. Same sentence, same tone, no new evidence, no sarcasm, no sighing performance. Let the line do the work. Picture yourself as the calm steward of your own energy, not the prosecutor trying to win a case. When your chest tightens, whisper the mantra, let them, let me, and choose stillness over scrambling. Their feelings will crest and recede like waves. You standing there, grounded, repeating your boundary is how the shore gets reshaped. Let's draw the line in ink, not pencil. Let them is never let them abuse you. Read that again. You are not a landing pad for contempt, threats, intimidation, stonewalling, sabotage, or punishment for having needs. If the dynamic includes name calling, mocking, eye rolling, weaponized silence that lasts for days, slamming doors, looming over you, punching walls, hiding money, tracking your location, sexual coercion, or retaliating because you set a boundary that's not conflict, that's control. The standard is simple, mutual respect, even when we're mad. If respect leaves the room, you leave the room. We also have to name weaponized incompetence because it's disrespect in a cardigan. It sounds like I don't know how. You're better at it. I tried and it went badly. Over and over and over in the exact categories you've begged them to take. It's forgetting only the tasks you assigned. Doing a job so poorly you'll swoop in next time. Asking the same basic question every week so you stay the help desk. This isn't low skill. It's low effort by design. And it trains you into lifelong management. Let them be capable adults, and let me stop rewarding fake helplessness. If someone can run a team, build a deck, level up in 6 video games, or recite stats from memory, they can figure out the trash, the dentist, the school portal. I can't often means I won't as long as you will. Here are your lines, and they are non-negotiable. When volume goes up or names come out, you say calm and flat. I will not continue this conversation while you're yelling or calling me names. I'll talk when we're both calm. Then you end the interaction. Leave the room, end the call. If they follow, you repeat. I'm not available for this. I'm leaving now. We can schedule a time tomorrow. If they mock your boundary or escalate, you upshift to safety. I'm done talking today. I'm taking the car. We'll revisit this with a counselor. And you go, consequences are not ultimatums. They're self-protection. An ultimatum tries to control them. A consequence controls your participation. I'm not staying in the room while you shout. Click. I'm moving our finances to separate accounts until we agree on transparency. Done. I won't live in logistics chaos if we can't align on a system. We work with a couples therapist before I re-engage, scheduled. If repairs stall, you shift lanes, separate calendars, separate chores, separate plans until there's a shared standard upheld by both adults. Support is strength, not failure. Loop in a therapist. Book couples counseling if there's goodwill but bad habits. Tell a trusted friend what's happening so you're not isolated in your own head. And if there's coercive control or fear threats, surveillance, forced sex, destruction, intimidation, this is abuse, prioritize a safety plan, contact local domestic violence resources or a national hotline, document incidents, choose safety over politeness every single time. Boundaries are not just about who takes the trash out. They are about how you will and will not be treated. Let them be who they choose to be, and let me remove myself. The instant disrespect shows up. Calm or no conversation. Respect or no access. That is the line you do not cross. Here's the thing nobody tells you. The moment you stop rescuing, your body will light up like a pinball machine and scream, "You're selfish, you're mean, fix it." That's not truth. That's wiring. You've trained your nervous system to feel safe by overfunctioning. So of course it panics when you step out of the old role. Guilt is not a command, it's a sensation. Say that again to yourself. Guilt is a sensation. Sensation leads to feeling, leads to thought, leads to action. If you don't interrupt the chain, we're going to reverse it with a compass. You carry on you all day long. Somatic test, quick and dirty. Stop the damn car, meaning pause for 10 seconds and ask your body one question. When I imagine holding this boundary, do I feel expansion or shrinking? Expansion feels like space in your chest, shoulders dropping, breath getting deeper, your face softening, a tiny sense of relief peeking through the noise. Shrinking feels like a pit in your stomach, tight throat, clenched jaw, breath held, your body leaning forward to grab the wheel. If it expands you to hold the line, even if guilt yells, trust expansion. If it shrinks you to cave and overfunction, hello people pleasing, trust that data too. Your body is your navigation system. You've just been ignoring it in favor of other people's weather. Normalize the guilt spike. It's going to show up because this is an identity update. You used to be the manager. Now you are an equal participant. New roles always feel wrong before they feel right. Behavior first rewires identity because you witness yourself doing the new thing. Every time you don't rescue, you become someone who trusts other adults to be adults and trusts yourself to tolerate discomfort. You don't have to like the feeling to do the action. You don't even have to believe you deserve the boundary yet. You can just want the peace and act like the person who protects it. Mini practice, so you have something to grab in the moment. Step 1, breathe and label out loud. This is guilt, not guidance. Step 2, run the test expansion or shrinking. Step 3, say the mantra, let them experience their choice. Let me choose my participation. Step 4, take the action aligned with expansion and your values, not with shrinking and panic. Send the one sentence, hold the pause, walk out of the room calmly if respect leaves, then redirect your buzzing energy, water a plant, take a lap, finish an email so your body learns you are safe while the boundary stands. And please hear me, you're not becoming selfish, you're becoming fair. Managers don't have peers, they have subordinates. You are not the household CEO of grown adults. You are one adult among equals. Let them carry what's theirs. Let me carry what's mine. Use expansion versus shrinking to steer. Repeat the behavior until your nervous system catches up, and watch how the guilt quiets as peace takes the wheel. Here's where talk ends and relief begins. Do not try to fix the whole relationship. We are running a 4-day experiment with the 3 hotspots you already circled. It's a sprint, not a summit. 2 weeks of behavior first reps that show your nervous system, your household, and frankly, your calendar that the standard changed. Change isn't a speech. It's a 2-week experiment where your behavior proves a new standard. Week 1 is simple and annoying, which means it works. You apply the 2-4-hour pause and the 1-sentence ask to your top 3 hotspots. That's it. No essays, no PowerPoints, no prosecuting. When the urge to pre-rescue hits, you breathe. Label guilt a sensation. Run the expansion versus shrinking test. Whisper, let them, let me, and you initiate the pause. Set an actual timer. During that pause, you watch like a scientist. What happens when you don't do it? Then, once per hotspot, you deliver a clean request, 1 sentence, ownership or timeline, neutral tone, period, and then you shut up. You don't chase it. You don't remind. You don't soften with emojis. You redirect your buzzing energy into a task that's yours because your body needs proof that you're safe while the boundary stands. Track the data every night for 7 nights. Not a novel, 3 lines in your phone, or a sticky by the sink. What tasks disappeared because nobody actually needed them when you stopped managing? What consequences happened when you didn't intercept, and who handled them? What arguments tried to start on loop, and how did you respond? What emotions came up in you? Guilt spikes, anger, relief, boredom, and where did you feel expansion versus shrinking? Data beats drama. You're building a case for peace your body can believe. Week 2, we add horsepower. Assign ownership end to end and use the broken record response when pushback arrives. Transfer the lane, trash, dental, bedtime, calendar, whole job, minimum viable standard, done. Expect mess. Tolerate different. Resist the boomerang where you grab it back because it's imperfect. When anger, helplessness, or guilt trips show up, you stay steady and repeat your line. You're allowed to be mad. This is still what I'm doing, or I'm not managing this anymore. You can figure it out, or I hear you. I'm still not taking this on. Same words, same tone, no debate. You're not controlling them. You're controlling your participation. Keep tracking. Which things now run without you? Which balls dropped and taught useful lessons? Which patterns of disrespect or weaponized incompetence surfaced? If respect left, you left noted. If you had to escalate to consequence or schedule a counseling session, write it down. You're mapping a system, not judging yourself. At the end of day 14, debrief. Keep what worked, adjust what didn't. If a standard needs 1 notch clearer, set it. If an ownership lane keeps boomeranging, stop arguing and redesign it or hold it separate until there's shared buy-in. And if disrespect showed up, name calling, intimidation, stonewalling, you don't negotiate that. You escalate support exactly like we covered. This sprint is proof, not perfection. 2 weeks from now, you'll have less on your plate, more oxygen in your chest, and a body that finally trusts you to protect your peace. Start today. First hotspot, 2-4-hour pause, 1 sentence, period. Let them, let me. Proof is coming. Stop the damn car. Look at the dashboard. That feeling that's been blinking red for years, resentment that wasn't a moral failure or personality defect. It was the receipt. Proof you've been overfunctioning, subsidizing other people's adulthood with your energy, your time, your sleep. You didn't imagine it. You were doing too much. And now you have the map to pivot without lighting your life on fire. Stop trying to control other adults. Start controlling your participation. Let them, let me. That's the move. Here's what I want you to hear in your bones. You can stop carrying the entire relationship, the entire family, the entire team without blowing it up. You do it by getting out of the manager seat and into the boundary seat. You already did the audit. You ran the pause, you practiced one sentence, you assigned ownership, you learned the broken record, you felt the guilt spike and used expansion versus shrinking to steer. Proof is already trickling in that when you step back, systems either reveal themselves or evolve. That is how peace starts. Not with a dramatic speech, but with a dozen small, boring choices that reassign responsibility to its rightful owner. And if you're still wobbling, if the old guilt soundtrack is loud, borrow my belief. You don't have to believe you deserve this yet. You can just want it. Want your peace enough to practice it. Want your evenings back. Want conversations without contempt. Want a home where the labor is visible, owned, and respected. Want it, and then act like the person who protects it, even if your hands shake. Change is not a mood. It's a decision followed by a consequence you're willing to carry. That's it. So here's your next right action today, not next month. Pick one resentment hotspot. One. Write the one sentence you will say that moves it out of management and into a boundary. You own trash. I'm not managing the calendar. Please handle bedtime Wednesdays. Period. Then decide the consequence you will actually follow through on if the standard or respect is not met. Calm exit. Separate accounts until transparency. Counseling on the calendar before re-engaging. Not to control them, to control you. Then you practice. Let them. Let me. Repeat it when your chest tightens, when their face crumples, when your phone vibrates. Let them have their feelings and their responsibilities. Let me have my peace and my choices. And before you tell yourself you're the only one doing this, look around. This is a shared, invisible load that has sat on the backs of people, especially women, for generations. Managing moods at dinner tables, running second shifts after work, carrying calendars in our heads so the world doesn't wobble. It stops when one person in a family tree says, I love you and I will not carry what is yours anymore. That person can be you. Let them be them. Let you be you. That is not abandonment. That is adulthood. Close your eyes for 10 seconds. Imagine the lightness when the trash gets handled and you didn't think about it once. The quiet after you calmly end a conversation the second disrespect walks in. The space in your chest when you watch a grown adult solve their own problem. That is the sound of your life coming back. Peace comes from responsibility correctly placed. Let them own their life and let you own yours. Stop driving in circles. Pull the car over, choose your hotspot, write your sentence, choose your consequence, then go live like the driver of your life. Let them, let me, and go get your peace.